All right, Algebra 1, we're going to be working on the review. This is review, so I'm going to do this relatively quick. When we're going to factor these, you have to remember that you have to start with A, B, C, and then AC. I am recording this during first period, so you'll probably hear some noises in the background. A is 1. That's in front of the x squared. B is 2. C is negative 3. And AC is negative 3 times 1, which is negative 3. So we have to find what multiplies to AC and adds up to B. So in this case, I have 1 times 3. That will add to, or that will multiply to 3. What will make it negative, positive? I think it's that. Let's look at that. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. Cool. So those are our terms. So now we have the negative 1 and 3, and we're going to break apart this middle 2x into that. Minus 1x plus 3x minus 3 equals 0. So now we do that grouping thing. At this point, we've done this a lot. On this first one, I can pull out an x. So I'm going to pull the x out. On this next one, I can pull that 3 out. And I end up with, you see that x minus 1 2 times? So my x minus 1 goes here. And the x plus 3 that's left over goes here. Now, solving means set equal to 0. So when I solve, it means set this equal to 0 and solve it like a normal equation. So this is x equals negative 3 for the first one. For the second one, I'm going to set that factor equal to 0 and add 1 to both sides, and I get x equals 1 for my solved. So those are my two answers. All right, going to number 2, I'm going to do this quickly. A equals 1, B equals negative 3, C equals negative 28, and A times C equals negative 28. So what multiplies to AC that adds to B? I'm going to be using 4 times 7, because 4 times 7 is 28. And which one is going to be negative? It's going to be the negative 7. So 4 times negative 7 is negative 28. 4 plus negative 7 is negative 3. So here we go. Let's break that apart. I'm actually going to switch colors to red to not confuse our work from the other side. So here we go. This 4 and 7 is what we're interested in right here. I'm going to break it up. So x squared goes there. Now I have minus 7x plus 4x minus 28 equals 0. So now I'm going to go ahead and group all that garbage together like this. The first one I can take an x out of, x minus 7. The second one I can take a positive 4 out of it, and I get x minus 7. And again, you know you're doing the right work if those match. So I take out the x plus 4, which is that one right there, and then the x minus 7. So that's my factored, minus 7. So that is my factored stuff, and that goes right here in that line. Now to solve it, I set both of these equal to 0, so x plus 4 equal to 0. I can just switch the sign to x equals negative 4, and then x minus 7 equal to 0 is x equals 7. And if you need me to show you that real quick, there you go. So same thing with the other side, just set it equal to 0 and solve. All right, I am not going to solve 3 and 4 because you need to do that yourself. So you're going to have this set up with A, B, C, and AC. Same thing over here, A, B, C, A, B, C, AC. So go ahead and get those things going. Then we'll move on to the next page. 5. I'm going to go ahead and start with the simplest one. Take the square root of 3 times the square root of 4. Why did I do that? I broke up 12 into that. I can't evaluate square root of 3. It stays that way. And the square root of 4 breaks down to 2. So now I reconstruct everything. Everything that goes in the house goes there. Everything on the outside goes there. So I'm going to let y'all solve number 6 yourself. If you're wondering what numbers I would use, I would probably use those. So number 7, it's a harder one, so I'm going to work number 7. Here we go. I'm going to break it apart by square root of 4 times square root of 10 times square root of x to the 4th times square root of x to the 1 times square root of y squared at the 2, looks like a terrible 2, times square root of y to the 1. So when it's odd exponents, we break it apart this way. And then I chose 4 and 10 because those are the best numbers for it. So now we evaluate. What's the square root of 4? 2. Can I evaluate square root of 10? No. The rules for even exponents, divide by 2, drop the house. Divide by 2, drop the house. Square root of x to the 1, can't simplify. Rule for evens, divide by 2, drop the house. So that's y to the 1, and then the square root of y to the 1 can't simplify. So now you have to put this back together. What's inside the house? There's a 10, there's an x to the 1, and there's a y to the 1. Those are the things inside the house. Let's just cross that out. What's outside the house? We have a y to the 1, we have an x squared, and we have a 2. So go ahead and see if you can solve that. Show me the work on how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and work number 9, and then that will leave you with 8 and 10 to work. So here we go. Number 9, for those who forget, when there's a negative, always separate it out. 8 breaks down into 2 times 4, and then the odd exponent breaks apart like this. That's an 8 times x to the 1. So square root of negative 1 reduces to I. Square root of 2 does not reduce. Square root of 4 reduces to 2. Square root of x to the 8th reduces down to x to the 4th. Divide by 2, drop the house. And then this one does not reduce. So now we reconstruct everything. Everything that's in the house, 2 and x. And then everything that's outside the house, 2i and x4. 2i, x4. And that's your answer. So go ahead and solve the other ones yourself. Using those as guides. Quadratic formula. Here we go. I'm going to actually push pause on this one and start another video.